Hi. So we're going to do some mobility together, and this will be put on the YouTube. I know the time change confused a couple people who were going to do it. I got the wonderful llama right here behind me, and we're going to keep it short and sweet because I'm going to go to the gym after anyway. So we're going to just start off doing some windshield wipers, 1990 style, dropping the legs to the left and dropping the legs to the right. And yes, currently I am in Peru. So I gotta find a gym that's close by, get a little workout in, and then go get a bite to eat. Because I took 8 clients today, so it was a long day. And yeah, by the way, I did not time this. I didn't set this up so that this would be behind me. I didn't even realize it first. I'm gonna drop my hand, rotate, and then circle back and come through the other way. Ooh. So this is actually just what I would normally be doing in my warm-up. Should take about 10-ish minutes or so. And I may as well do it here, record it. Y'all can follow along, and then I'm gonna go to the gym, and then I don't even need to warm up for the gym. So that actually makes life a lot easier because it's called stacking, where you do 2 things for the price of 1. I like to think it's a good way of leverage. So that's a nice way to kind of warm up hips and spine. I'm gonna get into my 90-90 position, roll that back hip nice and tall, push my chest forward, getting a good stretch in my front leg. And I'm also gonna pick up at the same time, driving through as hard as I can for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then come out of bed. Get a little cramp like I just did, give it a little massage, and then we get back into it, pushing down and lifting up for 5, 4, 3, 2, down. We're gonna do that again for a total of 5. Now, I'm not talking to anybody, so it might sound crazy. I'm just gonna talk about life a little bit here. It's really cool to travel, enjoying it. If you aren't taking advantage of traveling, you should. It's really cool to expose yourself to new things, different things, get out of your comfort zone. I think it's phenomenal. There's so much that you can learn. It's invaluable. Also, I mean, even though right now the sun's not out, it was 20 degrees and sunny, while back home it's minus 20 and not sunny. It's a little cloudy today. It might rain at some point. It is, I want to say about 5 p.m. So, I mean, if it does, it does. But for the most of the day, it was all sunny. Had amazing coffee today, and some really good food too. So yeah, and I'm in this location for 2 more days, and then off to Lima. And in Lima, I'm looking forward to that as well. Probably a week and a half to 2.5 weeks in Lima. 2.5 is like the maximum, but I might take some time and go elsewhere. After I do those, I typically then get into my half kneeling groin, and I just open up my hips, especially this hip is the one I had my surgery on. So it's a nice, easy one. Again, nothing here is like overly complicated. It's the simple stuff that you just do consistently, and a lot of people won't do this unless they follow along with a video, and that's what's important. Now, I'm gonna turn to the other side, but what I want you to pay attention to is my toes and foot here. I dig into the ground. As I do this, I get a nice kind of foot ankle stretch. So that's also part of it, where, again, leveraging 2 things for the price of 1. If I'm in this position, I won't necessarily get that in my foot. Here, I'm getting nice toe mobility as well. Again, as I rock my hips just back and forward, nice and easy. Then, after that, I'm gonna get into my cat-cow position. So this one I always struggle with, a little tight. I did a lot of sitting today with my clients. I think I'm at like 6,000 or 7,000 steps, so this is a good way to kind of get some movement into these joints as well. And then walk to the gym, get my gym workout in, come back, shower, and then go get a nice bite to eat protein, and that's my day. And that's kind of the day in the life of someone who travels but also works. I just took 8 clients today so I could have tomorrow off, and tomorrow is going to be my big walking day. Probably not get to the gym, or maybe I will, but I just want to get a lot of walking and steps in. As part of the people who are doing the step challenge, that's why strategically I'm treating Wednesday as my walking day. And then from here, I'm going to reach and rotate. Ooh, a couple good cracks in my spine. Rotate, open up, and then I switch to the other side. Reach. Oof. And open up. And we're just going to rinse and repeat a couple times. It's a nice little threading of the needle. Again, it's nothing crazy, but this is a general routine. I don't have to think about. I can always add 1 or 2 movements to it, or I make modifications. That's pretty standard, but it's nice to have a really good full body routine you don't have to think about too much. I am going to go to the llama at some point too to do something on the wall, but I think I have one more that I want to show you guys while I'm on the ground, and it's just for my ankles and feet, because obviously we're doing lots of walking. And I find that the combat stretch, especially this ankle, I have a missing ligament, football injury. I'm opening this up to about 90 degrees, driving the knee forward, and I'm getting a nice wedge here. You can see my foot to ankle. In this position, I'm pushing my toes down to activate the bottom of the feet, and then I lift, try to pretend like I'm lifting the foot toes up to activate the front of the shin, getting a nice stretch here. And then I push down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then I'm lifting up. And I was definitely feeling a little beat up when I was in Cusco. Lots of walking up and down hills and the altitude. So my ankles and feet really started to feel it, and I got some good massage done. And so now things have definitely still feel a lot more open. Also, the massages here are hella cheap. It's like $35 for an hour. I could get carried away and go for a massage every day. I'm not going to do that, but I am going to take advantage and get a couple more in over the next couple of weeks and make sure my body is well taken care of. So I'm going to do a couple more of these, then I'm going to go to do something at the llama, and then I'm going to go work out. So, and again, we're at like a total of 8.5 minutes. So this doesn't take a crazy amount of time, guys. Like, this is a great little mobilization routine. You can do this at any point, but I like to do that sort of stuff before I go work out. Not even 8 minutes. We're at like 6.5 minutes. So now we're at the llama. So as you can see here, feet just about a foot away from the wall, hips on the wall, upper back on the wall, head on the wall. I'm just gonna push my low back into the wall, driving my wrists and elbows into the wall, getting good upper back activation, and then I just relax. Again, wrists on the wall, head on the wall, push my low back into the wall, not letting anything cheat, getting good end range for my rotator cuffs, and then relax. Again, let's repeat again. Pull, 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 pull the wrists into the wall, pull, 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 and then relax, and repeat. One more. Pull, 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 pull. Draw that belly button in, pull, 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 and relax. Whew. I'll do one more while we're here. This does not take as much time as what people think. Look how much we've done in the last 7-8 minutes. Also, just me, or is his hair like off to the side like a boy band? All right, from here, I'm gonna do a wall circle. I'm trying not to let my chest rotate as I draw a circle on this said wall. If I get too close as I do this, I'm gonna start to open up. So the goal is to not open up. I'm gonna do some wall circles one way, and then I'm gonna do it the other way, even bracing my core, keeping my shoulder blade down as I come through. And now I change to the other side. It's especially back here where there's that sticky point where my body wants to rotate, and I'm not gonna let it. Again, just kind of working through. Another thing or two I like to do in my warm-up routine is some kind of explosive or skill-based movement, like a kettlebell swing, box jump, a windmill, a Turkish get-up. I'm not gonna do that here, but when I get to the gym, that's something I'll probably do. I'm feeling some dumbbell snatches, for example, into like a windmill, because then I get some rotation, I get some explosion, right? So dumbbell snatch, boom, and then I go into my windmill. So that's probably what I'm gonna add on, and that's a little bit of my thought process. So, again, 9 minutes to do a mobility routine. You don't have an excuse. Okay, if you like that, let me know. Until next time.